There's a corner of the law that connects some pretty random sounding things. Things that happen to us or people we know all the time. To show you what I mean, let me start with a little puzzle. So just think about that for a second. A nasty rumor online? That's about your reputation, right? A slip and fall? Well, that's about getting physically hurt. They seem like they're from totally different worlds. So what on earth is the legal thread that ties them all together?
The answer, believe it or not, is that they can all be a tort. Now, that's a word you've probably heard thrown around, maybe on a TV show or something, but what does it actually mean? Well, that's exactly what we're about to unpack.
Okay, let's dive right in. At its very core, the law of tort is the legal system's way of dealing with the super common problem. What do we do when one person's actions end up wrongly hurting someone else?
And sometimes, the best clues are hiding in plain sight. The word tort, it actually just comes from the French word for wrong. It's that simple. It's a pretty elegant origin for what can be a complex area of law, but at the end of the day, we're just talking about the law of wrongs.
So let's put a slightly more formal definition on it. A tort is a civil wrong, and that word civil is really important here. See, a criminal wrong is when the government prosecutes someone for breaking a law, like theft. But a civil wrong, that's about one person seeking a remedy from another person for causing them harm. It's not about punishing a crime against society, it's about making things right between people. But to really get a handle on tort law, we've got to go one level deeper. It's not just about any old wrong. There's a really powerful organizing idea at the very heart of it all. And here it is. This is the absolute key to the whole thing. Protected interest. That phrase is the DNA of tort law. The courts don't just jump in for every little thing that goes wrong in life. Nope. They only get involved when a specific interest that the law has decided is worthy of protection gets violated. This actually gives us this fantastic, almost plug-and-play way to think about it. You just have to ask two simple questions. First, what's the protected interest at stake? And second, what's the name of the specific tort the law created to guard it?
All right, let's give it a try. Let's say the protected interest is your reputation, your good name in the community. If someone harms that by spreading a vicious lie about you, the tort that plugs right in to protect it is called defamation. See? Simple.
Let's do one more. What's the interest here? It's just your basic right to be physically safe from harm. The main tort that protects that interest is called negligence. And this one is the big one. It covers a huge range of things, from car accidents to that slip and fall we talked about at the beginning.
And speaking of negligence, it's really fascinating to look at how the whole landscape of tort law has shifted over the years. Because, negligence wasn't always the king of the castle like it is today.
For a really long time, when you talked about torts, you're mostly talking about intentional acts. Things like assault, where someone actually meant to do the wrongful thing. But over the last century or so, something really big changed.
The shift has been absolutely massive. Cases about negligence, those unintentional but careless acts, have just exploded, totally dwarfing intentional torts. And why did that happen? Well, think about it. The rise of cars, complicated machines, all these mass-produced products, they created countless new ways for us to accidentally hurt each other. Our modern world pretty much paved the highway for negligence to become the most common wrong.
So, okay, a wrong has been committed. A protected interest has been violated. What now? What's the actual point of all this? What is tort law trying to achieve?
And this takes us right back to that civil versus criminal idea. Remember, the goal here isn't to punish someone or throw them in jail. The whole point is to provide a remedy, to try and restore the injured person as best as possible to the position they were in before the wrong ever happened. The legal world has a great phrase for it, making them whole again.
So, how does the law actually do that? Well, the most common way, the one we all think of, is money, financial compensation, which is called damages. But that's not the only tool in the toolbox. A court can also issue what's called an injunction, basically an official order telling someone to stop doing the harmful thing. Or, think back to that defamation case, the best remedy might be a formal public apology to help prepare that damaged reputation.
So as you can see, from our reputation to our safety, tort law is this living, breathing system that's trying to protect the things we as a society value. But it's never finished, it's always evolving. Which leaves me with a final thought for you. As our lives get more and more digital, what's the next protected interest you think the law is going to have to step in and define? Is it our data privacy? Maybe our digital identity? The answer to that is going to shape the law for all of us. Thanks for tuning in.